Let's be real. If you died tomorrow, your clients would easily be able to replicate another version of you and find someone else that is the exact same version of you. Let's be real here, right? You are not a special snowflake, right? So how do we escape that? What is the best pricing model to use? What is even the way to go about pricing, right? We're going to talk about that all today. So just sit back, relax, just watch the video. Okay, you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. Um, Number one, you have to realize this one thing: pricing is not a number. Pricing is a model, right? So it's a way to go about getting value in the form of energy from your client, right? So what are the two things that you need in terms of your pricing model? This is very important. So listen up. This information here costed me a ton of money. Cost me a ton of money. Number one, you have to be leveraged. Input does not equal output, right? Your input has to be vastly smaller than your output. Your margins have to be high. This is what leverage is, right? Number two, the more clients you work with, the better the system gets. What that means is the more people you work with, the more data you collect, you use that data to make the system better as a whole. This has to do with pricing as the model, right? Those two things. Number one, leverage. Number two, the system gets better the more the system is ran, right? So what is the system like? What do I even do then, right? What is the fly like? Is there what's the way to do this? So we're going to talk about the slavery PT flywheel. So this is for PTs. This is for health coaches. This is for people in the coaching space who I specifically work with health and fitness coaches, but this works with coaches too. So just this is what most people are following. They're following this strategy in terms of they have a commoditized offer. So number one, what that means, what is a commoditized offer? A commodity is something that's replaceable pretty much. So a commodity is like cattle, grain, something like that, right? A business like Facebook is not a commodity. You can't make two Facebooks. It's like, you know, it's Facebook. It's one thing, right? Most people are a commodity. We know this. So what does that mean? That means you're doing the same thing that everyone else is doing, but you're only doing one thing in the chain of problems. So let me give you an example. Let's say a client, let's say, I come to you and I'm like, hey, I want to go to Hawaii, right? And the way you help me get to Hawaii, the way you solve that problem for me is you just help me pack my suitcase and that's it. I would look at you and I'd be like, okay, but there's so many other things that need to be done and I would pay you more to do the other things, right? What about, you know, packing my luggage? Yes. Booking the ride to the airport, booking the plane. What about the shuttle back from the airport to the hotel, booking the hotel, room service, right? Most people are just solving one obstacle and doing it just like everyone else. You're a commodity, right? And because they're doing that, they're charging low price, of course, because they're like just subconsciously they know that they're doing the same thing, so they're just going to charge the same as everyone else. And because they're charging low price, what happens now? You don't have a lot of money. Your margins aren't the best. Maybe you have a good margin, but still, you're not getting a lot of money, right? You can't afford to hire any good talent. You can't afford to have coaches within your coaching organization as a whole, right? You can't afford good systems. You can't afford to invest in media. You can't afford to make the system better now. What does that lead to? That leads to bad results. And this is not bad results for the first few clients. This is bad results for the last 100 clients, right? And when you have bad results, you can't leverage case studies, right? And you can't afford to buy other clients in terms of ads. And you just go back to it again. It's like you cutting yourself, it heals, cutting yourself, it heals, cutting yourself, and then just doing it over and over again. This is a very low leverage model. This is a traditional coach. What is the leverage coach? This is the model that I'm doing with my clients. So I call it the catch and release offer. Pretty much what it is you're solving every obstacle faster and effortlessly, right? So you want to go to Hawaii. I'm going to do everything for you. But instead of me going on and booking it for you, I'm going to leverage humans, or I'm going to leverage media, or I'm going to leverage some sort of pre-existing software, some sort of database code, so that if I go and do it again, if let's say I want to go to Hawaii, I don't need to go through the owner. I can go through a set of instructions. I can go through another person that helps me with it, etc. If you go and order on Amazon, Jeff Bezos is not packing the package, right? So with your catch and release offer, you're solving every obstacle faster, but you're leveraging media or code or some sort of human to do it for you, right? So, for example, in this example of going on a vacation, you would have a list of all the places, right? A list of the shuttle companies, a list of all the people you can reach out to that will help you with this. And you're selling the infrastructure. You're catching the client, giving them the infrastructure, and then releasing them. And you're solving this at a and you're charging a high ticket for this because you're solving every problem. You don't have to be there to hold their hand. Clients don't want you to hold their hand. Clients want results. They don't care how they get the results. They just want the results, right? If I could get my hair cut through a wind tunnel that like blows the hair off my head, I would do it. Right? People don't have to go to a hairdresser because the hairdresser cuts the hair, right? It's just a median for an outcome. That's all I'm saying. So now you're charging high ticket. You can afford superstar talent. You can afford systems, infrastructures, media, all this stuff. What does that lead to? The more times this happens, you get better results, high retention rate. You can now leverage case studies, purchase more clients, etc. And this is at a very high leverage. But the biggest point is to have a system that you can replicate, right, for every client. Now let's talk about prices. So this is a document that I got from Hormozi's book that was very interesting that I want to share with you guys. So when most people, this is more on like the price, like the number side of things, but this is the same model that I'm following. So pretty much what most people do is they look around, see what everyone else is charging, charge somewhere else in the middle, charge somewhere in the middle of what everyone else is charging. Horrible way to approach it. This is usually what happens. So when you decrease prices, or if you don't charge a lot, what happens is your client's emotional investment decreases, the perceived value of your service decreases, results decreases a demanding, or as a result of decreased investment and perceived value, clients increase their demanding this. Have you ever noticed how the cheapest customers ask for the most? Clients get less service because you have less money to spend on them, right? Decreases in profit, decreases in perceived self-value, you start questioning things, decreases ability to create results, decreases your conviction in the sales process. You and your team are no longer sure you can deliver what you promise. You feel like you're worthless because you don't charge much for what you do, right? Interesting. But when you increase prices, emotional investment, perceived value increases, results increase, profits increase, ability to create results for customers, self-value, right? Conviction in the sales process, everything increases in terms of prices, right? So it's a flywheel. When you charge low, you attract broke people, you get less revenue to reinvest, and you just get bad results. But if you charge high ticket, you're getting good people who are invested, and it's just a better process, right? So now let's actually look at the model of like how to charge. Like we know, sure, we have to charge high ticket, but how do we get there? Because it's not just like Facebook ad money, right? It doesn't work like that. So what is the process? So this is the process that Russell Brunson taught, the value ladder. You have value on the y-axis, price on the x-axis. You have something low value, low price, and then you ascend them slowly to a higher value, higher price thing. It works in 2017. Does it work now? Sure, of course it can, but there's better ways to do it. The best way to do it now is to front load everything. So you're basically reversing this. You are starting with a ton of value and starting with a low price, right? So you're pretty much having high value for free. From there, you're pretty much belief shift, get people to buy in that your solution is the best solution. And then you're going to build and release. So Hormozi had a $16K upfront payment plan for gym launch, which was $16K. Most people were charging like $2K a month at the time. And then he was downselling a $3.2K per month community, which was called Gym Lords. and then he kind of transcended to partnerships and equity. But this is what he's doing. So free value to the build and release offer, right? This is the best way to go about it now. You have to be pushing free value with your media, have to be pushing free value with your content, getting people to that build and release, that catch and release offer. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that having a commoditized offer, a low price, will just equal bad results. And you have to be leveraging yourself, your time, and other people's time and charge high ticket if you actually want to escape the flywheel. So I hope that makes sense. I hope this kind of helped you visualize what you need to be doing as a health coach, because so many people are doing the wrong things and just charging like, oh, join my community for $200 a month. I'll give you a program, a diet, nutrition, F off. You can text me whenever you want. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. It's horrible. So I hope this makes sense. I hope you got value from this. And yeah, that's it.